Dalton Smith. Very, very good start.
Beautiful overhand right that got rid of Sam Maxwell in the British title fight. And now down goes Ouizza in the closing stages of the opening round. And this looks like it's going to be a very, very hard night for the Frenchman. On a long unbeaten run, but against much lesser opponents, and in comes the towel as he goes down for a second time, virtually on the sound of the bell. Celebrations, father and son. The British champion is now the European champion, and he was on top from the sound of the first bell. Mightily impressive from Dalton Smith. The winning run continues. He was simply too good. He's levels above the likes of Ouizza, and he was talking earlier on about going on to challenge for a world title this year.
What's the big shots? Big shots. Nyika left hand steady. 6 rounds. Oh, big shot. Big shot from Opetaia. The referee's got to stop the fight. The referee's got to stop it.
Because he's hit Puma with straight shots, hooks. He's softened him up to the body. And I think he hasn't thrown enough uppercuts, Bam Rodriguez. There's openings down the middle.
There's a left for Martinez and a round of applause for the Argentine. A left punch to the jaw. And I'm not sure Martinez wants to get up or can get up.
He's not going to get up. Bam was playing possum. One-sided. This was a shutout by Bam Rodriguez.
Masterclass from one of the best fighters on the planet today.
And there it is, round 10.
Right after Martinez maybe landed his best punch of the fight, it was over.
Doesn't get better than that. That was a one-sided championship sparring session by Bam Rodriguez, schooling an undefeated, determined, confident champion in Fernando Martinez.
So he's got all the belts in the division except for one. Jesse Bam Rodriguez, the WBC, WBO, WBA, and Ring Magazine champion of the world.
Novice, class, absolute class that was. Didn't load up with anything. It was the speed, as you say, the accuracy, and the placement. Look at this.
Big shots. Gavazi in a heap of trouble. What a knockout. Ben Whittaker shines at home in Birmingham in facile fashion, destroying Benjamin Gavazi. And he needs the medical attention. That was a heavy knockdown. It was scything punches from Whittaker. The speed, the class, there was no messing about. This is the new chapter in Ben Whittaker's journey.
And as soon as he had him hurt, Adam, he let his hands go. He's still down, he's receiving oxygen at the moment, but there was 2 or 3 completely, perfectly teed off shot from Ben Whittaker there. Very, very dangerous, sharp, lightning hands.
She turned over back in December 2023. She's lost 7, but she's never been stopped, and you can see why. She's full of hope, and a beautiful right hand puts her down in the 3rd round, and again she uses that spirit to get to her feet, but Ryan Churchill had the opportunity there to stop it. She didn't need to take that down twice. Fights over. TMA Ayton delivers a very, very powerful statement in her professional debut.
A star has just been born in the female game there. You do not see that.
That southpaw stance. There's a straight shot. I thought Lima was going to land it, but he got caught by Ennis.
Beautiful uppercut.
And he got dropped in round number 1.
As soon as Booster's left-handed, both of them exchange left hands. Boost landed on the money. Lima's hurt.
What a debut for Boots! Can he seal the deal right away? This crowd is on fire, and so is Ennis, and down again goes Lima!
Lima's lucky he hit the deck when he did. That referee was about to step in and wave this fight off. Still plenty of time for Boots to get this stoppage.
Lima's been hit by a Philadelphia freight train. And maybe he is the best fighter we've ever seen. And he seems to think so. And he's just done it. Round one, destruction. Boots Ennis.
That's the statement Jaron Ennis needed to send to everybody, especially the 154-pound division. The critics had a lot to say about Lima as an opponent, but that's how you shut them up. Boots taking him out in round one.
He promised us a big statement win, and we didn't know he'd deliver it in less than a round.
It doesn't get bigger than that.
Isla on the back pedal and a big right overhand followed by a left. That's going to be it. The menace on the loose in Vegas. Harley Mederos with an impressive knockout here in the third round.
Shot straying low there from Hitchens as we're inside the final minute of round 8. You know, shades of Vasily Lomachenko against Richard Comey a couple of years ago right here in Madison Square Garden, where Lomachenko was putting body shot from Hitchens. And that may be a walk-off home run.
The pain from the body lingers. It's not going to go away. This fight's over.
That is it. Richardson Hitchens, the pride of Brooklyn, shines at Madison Square Garden.
Brooklyn, stand up. He wanted the knockout. He went for the knockout. He got the knockout.
A knockdown. We don't know how the cards have it. The feeling at ringside is that Craig Richards is ahead now. Massive left hook, and there's no way he's getting up from that. Richards wins in a dramatic way in the final round, and that is a silencer. But firstly, our attention goes to Dan Azeez.
The amount of time for this seems to be a bit of a firefight.
And then, like you say, with the 2-minute rounds, it just ends up being nothing but a war, does it? When you've got two fighters who come to fight.
Oh!
There you go, look.
Left hand there, she really loads up and plants. Oh! It's a huge left hook from Elif Turhan, and Shauna Browne does not know where she is. The legs are unsteady. She shakes her head. The referee's having a look, and he's been waved off. Wow. The first few seconds of the first round, they promised a huge victory here. They promised she was going to be a future star of the women's game, and boy, did she deliver.
Well, nothing, but if Esiman gets stopped now, there's an issue there, because he'll say he got caught.
Well, he's going for it, Jack Catterall, and he's down, and now it's Esiman who's out, and he's not going to make that. Jack Catterall wins by stoppage. Barry said it, there'll be a little bit of controversy because of what happened about 30 seconds or so again when Catterall caught Echo Esiman after the break, I think, but he jumped on him and got the win. He's not celebrating.
No, well, Esiman's still out of the ring here, man. Just been seen to by the medics.
It's been a long, hard fight, and the most important thing is that the paramedics and the brilliant attention of the doctors goes straight to Echo Esiman, who's given everything tonight. Jack Catterall doesn't celebrate. Very respectful. A strange last minute there.
Yeah, I need to see that back, but you feel for Esiman, who was really clawing it back slightly, wasn't he? Well, not slightly, he really was. But he's hurt, he really is.
Hard shots being landed, even if they're being punched.
There it was! The money shot, and Cafu's ready to go! And down it goes!
would not be denied. And with just a minute to go on the clock, Conor Walker does it again. Wow!
And I told him I'd say it. Conor Walker's the best fight I've ever seen. I told him if he beats McCormack today, I was going to give it to him live on there. What a performance, what a finish. I would be interested to see where the scorecards were, but by the end he started catching him, he was hurting him, and Pat couldn't stay away from him in that last round.
You can see what the idea is. It's a dip to his right and try and come back with a counter right hand, but unfortunately, these long chopping right hands from Teremoana are getting there first.
Look, and Whitfield is a big guy right now, but he began his career in the amateurs as a middleweight. He made his pro debut at 168 pounds, so he's not.
Big left hook, and the hammer is out.
Good stoppage. Whitfield was out already. What a puncher.
Oh, my goodness. Aleem Whitfield is frozen here in the corner up above us. That is a frightening knockout.
In and out of range very freely at the minute, Ferreira.
I think Ferreira definitely respects.
Oh! That's the right hand! The danger shot from Turan and Williamson in corner knockdown. Oh! Both of these women! And Ferreira's down and in big trouble! 20 seconds left in the first round. This one has been counted. Down twice. That was a serious knockdown. 10 to go.
Because her head's so far over to that left-hand side, she's in the position to throw that left to the body.
Oh! That's the right hand. Ferreira backed up in her own corner. And she's going to try and get out of there. Because look at that from the golden turn. Extraordinary scenes down. Again, big pressure on her. And I'm not sure she's going to recover. There's a minute left in the fifth. Her title might be slipping away. This is the opportunity for Lima Turner, and the referee has waved it off, and it is an amazing night for the woman from Turkey. The challenger, Elif Nur Turan, is the new IBF lightweight champion. Too powerful, too strong. She's 12-0.
See you there again.
The shot to the body, just as he got set to show the shot. Once again, we saw the delayed response, and they've seen enough in the corner. Craig Richards reels away to celebrate off the back of his defeat against Willie Hutchinson, returning to the Matchroom gym and Tony Sims.
He needs to turn it on now, you know, twist that knife inside and really turn up the heat. But I tell you what, his opponent is tough.
He has been stopped 3 times, Catano. But whoever they were, must have lead in their fist. Oh, big right hand!
He's gone.
From Toddsbury, the legs are all over the place. The right uppercut lands. And I'm pretty sure that will be all she wrote. The legs are still unsteady from Catano. The referee, rightly so, waves it off. Incredible debut for Conor Toddsbury. Explosive punching, physical presence. Take a bow, Toddsbury.
Even though you can clearly see, as Pat was saying, that left hook, which might be the money shot for him, and it will be in his career. I just felt in that fight, the way that Katana was that left hand low, the right hand was going to be the shot.
And can he make Flynn pay at this stage?
Oh.
Still 2 minutes to go in the round. And Flynn in desperate trouble. And the referee, Howard Foster, has seen enough. And that is the type of performance that has been promised from Cameron Vuong right since the beginning of his career. And you could say that finally he's delivered. And all the spite in the build-up, he's controlled his emotions and produced the performance of his career.
And the work's been effective throughout this contest, and he has to remain disciplined in these last 2 rounds. On the flip side, Conor Walker has the chance to realise a dream. This is where you throw the kitchen sink at your opponent. Everything you have.
Oh, tremendous! What a turnaround! Conor Walker turns it around in the 11th round, and Harry Scarf goes to his feet. but he's got 1 minute and 50 seconds to survive. Conor Walker now goes on the attack. The dream is within reach. It might just be one heavy shot away. The Scarf tries to hold on. He was way clear on the scorecards. Can he respond? The referee is asking for a response. There is no response. And that is one of the most dramatic turnarounds we've seen in recent history in British title fights. And Conor Walker has come from a mile behind to win the British and Commonwealth titles.
This is penalty. He was exhausted 4 rounds ago.
You get the second win though, didn't you, Val?
Yeah,
The middle rounds always seem the hardest for some reason.
Yeah, but in a fight like this,
From Troy Williamson and finally Mark Dickinson is floored. 1:20 in the ninth, and he's in desperate trouble here. And this is the moment for Troy Williamson to reignite his career. Dickinson is going to be stopped, and Williamson is back. What a fight and what a victory for the Trojan. Oh my word, that was extraordinary. A terrific toe-to-toe tussle, which Dickinson was probably ahead on, and that shot from Troy Williamson has given him his 21st knockout, the English super middleweight title, and he is back.
He's not even letting his hands go back now like he has been. He hasn't thrown a shot in about 20, 30 seconds.
No, he's covering up here. He's feeling it. Taylor, right out from Conor Walker. 1.5 minutes left in the 7th. This could be the breakthrough round. Taylor fights. He's gone with a huge shot, and he crumples to the canvas. Liam Taylor might be done here. Conor Walker has found the answer in the 7th round and retains his British welterweight title in a cracking battle with Liam Taylor, who gave it everything, but Darren Barker was spot on. Liam Taylor was made to work so hard from the opening bell. Tactics fabulous from Jamie Moore and the team. Conor Walker delivers, and that is a brilliant defence of his British belt against a very good opponent. And what a fight.
Hats off to Liam Taylor there. He gave it everything.
Ortiz won his last.
Oh, and a big left hand. Ortiz doesn't look like he knows where he is, but a quick get up from the Puerto Rican.
He's not going to last too much longer. Way too early for him to get hit like that. Right on the chin. You can see it. He's wobbling.
45 seconds to go. There's another big right hand.
They should stop this fight, man. Expect a highlight reel knockout if they don't stop this fight right now.
30 seconds to play with for Berlanga in round 1. There's the NyQuil. 2 doses from the chosen one. Berlanga back with a vengeance.
And I'll tell you what, Ortiz is lucky that Berlanga missed that left hook. He didn't even see that coming. The referee stepped in time, right on time, because that would have been devastating punch and devastating for the physical wellness of Ortiz.
Floyd. And that left to the body from Pat Browne twice now has gotten the attention of Felix Valera.
Oh! And a straight right hand backs Valera up against the ropes, and these punches are so heavy from Pat Browne, and down goes Valera!
And that was one of those equilibrium shots right in the temple of Felix Valera. Delayed reaction, but drops him to the canvas.
An early stoppage here would be super impressive. Valera looks very uncomfortable.
Yeah, the face of Valera does not look good. He may go down swinging here in round number 2. Pat is eating his lunch!
8, 5, 6, 7, 8. Go that way. Move that way. Come here. You good?
Pat Browne's corners telling him to dig to the body in these exchanges.
So much for this going 8 rounds. Browne just sealed the deal, flat on his face. What a performance by Manchester's Pat Browne.
In action for the first time since the Paris Olympics. Fell to Marco Verdi. Dev signed with Matchroom. Eddie Hearn called it a potential game changer. We talked about the big population in India, and right now, Wiggins' face is being populated by lefts and rights from the shot Dev. And that is going to be ruled a knockdown. Dev's been living in Las Vegas for roughly 3 months now, training under Ronald Sims, and down goes Wiggins. Dev demolishing his first pro opponent. Second knockdown of the round. Big shots. Comes back with a right hand. Takes to the body, upstairs. Dev rocking Wiggins. Wiggins is hurt. He's backing down. 20 seconds to go. And that's going to be it.
He's got a lot fresher legs and fresher hands than Warburton does.
He just showed out a little bit there, Warburton. Breathing heavily. He's in trouble. Body shot. He nearly goes down. Trapped in his corner. And the count's gone in. And Kieran Conway is the British middleweight champion. Finally, years after he felt he should have held that non-cell belt, he's got it. And he turned the screw beautifully on Jerome Warburton, who stopped for the first time in his pro career.
I had a bad first-round experience, but that was a great first-round experience for Amari Jones.
And that's going to do it. Waved off. Amari Jones, dazzling in his pro debut.
You know, Louis Pabon, the referee, came to the corner of Master Nunzio and said, "You got to show me something in between the first and second round." He clearly didn't like what he saw from Master Nunzio. I think that stoppage was probably a little bit early, but it was all academic. It doesn't change what the outcome of this fight was going to be. It was always going to be an Amari Jones knockout.
That might have been the flashiest show in Orlando since Shaq and Penny.
I like what I saw, man.
Nice. Oh, that dropped him. That dropped the former champ, and he's in a world of hurt.
You know, that looked like one of those discombobulating shots right on the temple. It is really tough to recover from that.
It's over.